Let's start with just some general thoughts on Penn State.
A very, very good football team, and a team that plays inspired football. At the beginning of the season, you could tell they were out of sync a little bit. It looked like they have really played hard throughout the course of the season and played themselves into great shape because they go hard from the snap to the whistle. But to really get after it, very talented, offensively, a very big physical, a good offensive line. The quarterback is playing excellent. McGloin is a leading passer in the Big Ten right now. Very physical running game. They employ 4 tight ends and do a variety of things with their tight end packages, if you will. And so it's kind of hard to get a feel exactly what they're going to do from a personnel standpoint in regards to defending Penn State. And offensively, again, big offensive line, quarterback playing well, physical running backs. Defensively, very, very strong in their front seven, maybe as good as any front seven that we played all season long. And we played some great front seven defensive football teams, including Notre Dame, who I think was outstanding. And I think Penn State is right along the same lines as Notre Dame from a talent standpoint in their front seven. So it'll be a heck of a challenge for our football team this Saturday.
The defense has obviously been banged up this year. The overall health, are you getting healthier, or is that still a concern?
Well, it's still a concern. We were not banged up when the season started. We started off the season in great shape, had a fantastic camp, and we were really loaded across the defensive line. And I still believe that was and is and can and should be the difference maker to our football team. We were too deep with strong, physical, mature players. All of them 100% healthy and playing very physical, and that maintained its position for a while. And then we got into Big Ten play, and we've got nicked up some and wore down some, and we're a little bit thinner across the defensive front than what we were maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. But we may be in better shape this Saturday than last Saturday. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to be at with Brandon Taylor. He was had an ankle injury in the ball game and then came out and wasn't able to perform. Again, Kawan came out of the ball game, wasn't able to go back in and perform. We have some other players that have been banged up that may be more healthier now than they have been. I think Ryan Russell is more healthier now than he has been in the last couple of weeks. He's been banged up and played, but hasn't been near as effective and not near as physical. And I think he has a chance to maybe step up his level of play some this weekend, regaining some health. So we are a little bit thin across the defensive front, nowhere where we were at in comparison to the beginning of the season, but hopefully a little bit further along this Saturday than the past 2 or 3 Saturdays.
In order to get this turned around, I guess, are you seeing the player resolve that you need to see in practice? Is the belief still there?
Certainly did last week. That's why I was surprised at with our poor performance. We played really hard at Ohio State and played well enough to win against a top opponent, in a very hostile environment, and thought we'd come away from that ball game with a lot of confidence. And we were very disappointed in the loss, but bounced back and practiced probably as well this past Tuesday as we have at any point in time throughout the course of the season, and then didn't perform nearly as well this past Saturday. There's nothing that's happened between the Minnesota game and today where I can really, indicate, how the team is going to respond, because we only had one team meeting this past Sunday. We don't practice on Monday, so we'll find out today where the team is at. But I know that they were embarrassed by their performance this past Saturday, and we expect to see them bounce back with a real commitment and on a real mission.
And then I guess the obligatory quarterback question, how's that shaking out with Caleb and Robert?
Well, we played all 3 quarterbacks Saturday. Rob Henry played at many skill positions on the field this past Saturday. He caught a pass, he blocked, he carried the football, he threw touchdowns. He did it all this past Saturday. He's a very good player and starting to regain his health 100%. Caleb and those around him at times did not play as well as we'd have liked for them to play, and as a result, Caleb didn't play as well as he has, or as well as we had expected him to. We put Robert Marv in the ball game, and he played very well. Completed a bunch of passes. I don't think he had many true incomplete passes. He had some drops and a batted ball, but had great quarterback stats and was able to generate some drives, and was very, very accurate with his passes. Really put him on the money, and which he does often, but they were much more catchable balls this past Saturday. He had a little more touch on his passes this past Saturday and played very well. So we'll go into the ball game this Saturday with Robert Marv as our starter, and Caleb Turbush and Rob Henry serving backup roles.